Yo, what's up guys? So I'm back with another video demoing my CPU. Today I want to test out one of my programs. So as you can see, I just have two programs I've made so far, or had the patience to turn into redstone blocks. Um, one is just simply the Fibonacci sequence. The other one, which I want to do today, is Fibonacci term calculator, which simply means that I give it a term and it tells me what that term is of the Fibonacci sequence. Now, the issue is it has to calculate the term itself, so the higher the term you give it, the longer it takes, which is a little annoying, but we'll be progressively picking a higher and higher term. But I just want to start off with some short terms to just show you guys how it works. So I've copied this, and now we are going to put it into my computer. So we just have, I think this is just a normal Fibonacci sequence. So I'm just going to paste this in. There we go. Alright, just checking. So I think it's around 20 some steps, I think. I think it's like high 20s, I don't remember the exact number. But it's a kind of large program, but I have more than enough instruction memory for it. Now down here, this is my control unit. So if you guys have watched my past videos, you'll know that all these lines right here control the computer, and so whenever I have a function, it will unpower one of these lines, which powers these torches, which will then send a signal through these lines. So I can actually just here, without having to touch anything out, like in the actual CPU, I can just make a function here. And one thing I like to do is whenever I add, like do addition, I like to have the output displayed, which I'm not going to do here because there are several addition functions being run here. So I just broke that torch, which is just connected up to the first general purpose output, which is over here. Now I have it hooked up to a BCD converter, which is a design I found from Mattbatwings. So check out that video. I'll leave in the description. But right now it is not working because I think I broke it copying it over. So for now we're just going to be looking at this output here, which is just has a little simple memory circuit here. So whenever it gives an output, because I'm running this quickly or I'll be increasing the tick rate, it just briefly flashes, and so people won't miss it, so I just have a little memory circuit here. But let's test this out. Here I have mapped out all the terms of the Fibonacci sequence that I can store within 1 byte, so it goes up to 233, which is the 14th term. So these are all the possibilities that my computer can calculate. So if we were to do something simple, maybe like the 5th term, as you can see here, it's 1, 1, which is 3, and that tracks, right? Because our first two terms are 0 and 1. Our next term is just 0 plus 1, which is 1. And our next term is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Our next term is 1 plus 2, which is 3. Alright, so we do our 5th term, which is 3. We should get an output of 1, 1, right? So let's test it out. So we'll be testing out the 5th term. What I'm going to do here is I will be increasing the tick rate to 10,000 ticks per second, so almost 500 times speed, so it's not unbearable for you guys to watch. So right now we'll be setting everything up, and let me check what step we're on right now. Alright, so now it is at a pause right now, if you guys have noticed, and that is because it's waiting for me to input my term. So what it does is, it's a really simple program. It just takes the term, I give it, it checks if it's equal to 0, if it's equal to, if it's equal to 1, it will output a 0, because 0 is the first term. And if it outputs, or if I give it a 2, it will output a 1, because 1's the first term. If it's not either of those, it will actually start calculating by adding, and then keeping track of what term it's on until the term counter is equal to the term I gave it, and then I'll just output that number. So if we put in 5, let's test this out, and as I've showed you, that should be 3 or 1, 0. So if I go around here, as you can see, it's working a bit. And there we go. So that took a very long time, as you can see, but we got our output, which is a 3. So now let's test out with a slightly higher number. Now let's go even higher. Let's go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 9th term, which is 21, because we have 16 plus 4, which is 20, plus 1 is 21. So our ninth term should be 21, or 1010. That's easy to remember. So let's test that out now. So now we are going to reset the program, and how I do this is just by breaking these torches. I could automate this by just um, inputting a 0 into the system, so just saving a 0 into the system, that just kind of resets it. But it's just easier for me to break this for now. But now see, after I reset it, once it got to 0, it automatically started counting, so now we're at 3 again, so it's ready for me to give an input. Now, we are not going to do 5, but we are going to do 9, which I said is going to be 10101, which is just 21. So I will be speeding this up a little bit more because, as you can see, even with step 5, it took a very long time. So let's test this out. There we go. So we got 10101. That took a while, which is one thing I'm not super happy about with my computer. It's very, very slow, but I have been working on a faster CPU, so I'm excited to show that off when I'm finished with that. But yeah, as you can see, that can solve any term that it can hold in a byte, really. So up to 233, which is the 14th term. I will not be showing this off in this video because it takes me a very long time, and I kind of have to sit there through it all. I don't really get the time lapse. But yeah, so you guys can have an idea of how that works. And um, I want to, with my with my new CPU, when I want to kind of put the equivalent program in there and see how quickly it can solve it. So yeah, so I'm excited to show that off. But for now, that was my demo of my Fibonacci term calculator, and that's about it. Peace.